Brian Tierney from Lean Made Simple, and our next speaker presentation is by Michael Althoff from Yellotools. He travelled all the way from Germany to be with us at the 2-second Lean Summit right here in Northern Ireland. And again, loads of nuggets of wisdom in this talk. Michael was one of the people who really influenced my lean journey in the early days, and you're really going to benefit from this presentation.
Yeah, thanks for raising the bar. Thanks for putting a lot more pressure on my shoulder. To my own defense, I think I went to that Bushmills distillery before I went to him. That's why I maybe had some awkward words. Okay, my name is Michael Althoff. For those who don't know me, my company, I'm the CEO and founder of Yellotools. We invent, design, and manufacture hand tools for the graphic industry. Sign makers, car wrappers, all those kinds of artists. Since about 20 years almost, and 40 employees around the world, and we are based in beautiful downtown Windeck, Germany. We are living lean in its full dimensions for about 16 years or more, and I can tell you I could write a full-on book about all the possible lean fuck-ups out there. If I ever get a chance to host another summit at my place, I would call it the Lean Fuck Up Self-Help Days. So I know that you all came here because you feel these frustrations sometimes as well. Some of you might also want to dump the whole lean stuff since it's not working the way you want it to work, or you're successful and crave for even more. Well, no one, especially myself, can take your hand and walk you through a process. But what I can do is I can tell you about my biggest learning experience and impacts I had over the last year, let's say since the last summit in Riverside in 2019. I'm going to split the biggest learning experiences on impacts on me in 4 different blocks. I call it lean, culture, or strategy. Deadly lean waste number 9. The lean wave theory, and flow. Is it pressure or relief? So many of you went to my little factory down in beautiful Windeck, Germany. We really had a lot of lean walks over the last 5 years. It got so crazy that we had to refuse a lot of those. Since we are not a museum, we are a manufacturing plant. So, but why do we accept so many people to come and see us? It's really not about to show them how cool we are. It's more about what we learn from their different perspectives of my manufacturing place. The pride to my team, their compliments and their hints, tips, and different perspectives on some details. Long story short, I always learn more than they learn from me. Okay, so again, this all today is only my very own conclusion and my learning experiences. I don't make any demands on scientific proof or something, just saying. It's simply amazing how many people tour my little facility in Windeck, Germany. Well, Windeck is not the end of the world, but from us you can see it. That's what it makes so crazy that companies like Mercedes-Benz, Lufthansa, Wirth, Henkel, even the Deutsche Bahn railway system come to see and try to learn from us. And last year, I had one of these epiphany, game-changing moments. After reading my book, we got a request from one of the largest construction companies of Europe, the Strabag-Zübling Group. Maybe some of you know them. They asked if they can come to my Gemba and tour it. They're freaking advanced in lean already. They founded their own Lean Academy 8 years ago and created over 1,000 lean leaders themselves in their 75,000 people strong group. What the hell? I ask myself, what in the lean world can I ever give them they don't even know? So they sent 20 brand new academy graduates for that day. It was simply amazing. They saw lean from kind of like a bird's eye view, since their job sites are so massive and they can't really feel what that lean thing is all about. So we had a good time. It was all good. But a few weeks later, I got an invite to be a guest speaker on the annual Lean event in Budapest. Why? Yeah, I mean, they know everything about the words, the terms, the philosophies, the shop floor management, and so what the heck could I bring them to bring added value to their event? So, to be prepared, I got my old safety hard hat helmet on and drove to one of their job sites to get a taste how they implemented Lean already. So they didn't know that I used to be a concrete pump operator back in the years, and I worked for that company as a contractor a lot of times. So I had my old contacts, sat down with them in their containers, and had a coffee and a beer. What I found out was just mind-blowing. All their efforts, 8 years in a row, to implement Lean. They spent all that money, spent all that time, but it didn't went all the way through to the guys on the Gamba. Those who should finally apply Lean didn't know shit about it. I was shocked. After spending literally millions of euros over the last 8 years, the drops didn't went all the way down. So what could I do now? Can I, little Michael from Windeck, Germany, tell the CEO of 75,000 people you suck? Not really. So I kept on doing my researches. I came across their Lean image video on YouTube, and I can tell you, I saw a lot of those videos, but this one is jaw-breaking. This one is staggering, amazing. You should look it up. They show in their video, they show a future we all want to live in. They displayed their strategy, how to get there, crystal clear. And I was nothing but jealous because I don't have something even close like this. But now I was even more unsure to expose what I experienced on their lower levels. So, and here came the light. I was chatting about my feelings about this twist with one of my teammates during a coffee break. I told him about the amazing strategy I saw at Starbucks and what struggles they have. He mentioned, pretty casually, the name Peter Drucker in his answer. He said that Mr. Drucker spent all his life preaching the phrase, culture eats strategy for breakfast. I heard this saying before, but I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I thought it's just another of this smart-ass quotes someone tries to make money with. But happily, it caught my attention and I dug a little deeper. What I found shook my world like an earthquake. So what is a strategy? It's a timelined, outlined plan of task and to-do list, an action which is supposed to be done in a certain time frame. But a culture is way different. It's like Lucas said, it's what people believe in, how they act and how they think and treat each other. So what Mr. Drucker tried to express all his life is, if a culture within an organization don't know about the new or changed strategy, if the culture don't understand, deny, or even work against it, you can do whatever you want, you're going to suck. I was shocked about the fact that this amazing company had such a broad vision about the future, but no idea how to get there. While my team, due to the Lean status, would be ready to change the world, but we don't even have a strategy to go there. So I learned so much about the difference between a culture and a strategy, and you have to think about it. Are you guys following a strategy? Is Lean for you a strategy, or is it a culture? So for me, it was mind-blowing. So Mr. Drucker says, and this is cool, management is the organ that transforms a horde into an organized entity and human effort into performance. I found this pretty cool, and I think this is what I had to tell these people. Ask the right questions. Does all your people understand how great lean can be for their lives? Did you completely describe the culture of helping people grow to have an easier life in all levels of educations and languages in your company? Does little Joe down at the shovel understands the greatness of finding a 2-second improvement every day? Or does all the magic get stuck in the middle management level and you just simply burn time and money? So I was the first speaker on the second day. The first day, all the speakers focused on their last year, how cool they were. They just knocked on their shoulder and stuff like this. They showed the plans they came up with all these high-end some computer software upgrades in workflow management. No words about failures. No words about little Joe, the struggles. And it was all good in the construction world. Then it was my turn. I can tell you I was sweating like a dog. The CEO, Mr. Clemens Haselsteiner, sat about 3 meters away from me, and I was making sure you don't have a baseball bat or something like this in reach. I was really feared, though. Okay, so I burnt down my firework and expected a hanging tree or something like this. But what really happened was freaking mind-blowing. At Q&A, they didn't even left me off the stage, and about 2 hours later, that Mr. Haselsteiner had his final speech. He must have rewritten the whole thing since he quoted and named me about 6 times. He totally got it. He was only focusing on the strategy of his organizations all the way up to 2040 and above. He forgot to pick up his people and take the fear they might lose their job or the future job could be too advanced for them and so on. So what happened next? It's unbelievable. He went home. He took down his entire HR department. Again, 74,000 employees. That's not a little thing. He renamed it. He agreed with me that we humans are not a resource like soil, water, oil, or whatsoever. We are human beings with all our strengths and weaknesses. From this day on, he named his department People and Culture. 74,000 people. How amazing is this? Lean is the culture which makes any dream come true, if we even dream big enough. So for me, the lean culture of flow can lead into a strategy with no limits, period. So my self-learning number 2 last year was deadly lean waste number 9. What is this? You all know the 7 wastes, and I think you all agreed with adding number 8, unused employee potential, correct? But after working with that big construction company, Strabag, I found another big one. After the speech I gave to them at their leadership thing in Budapest, some of us left from the same airport. And, waiting for the flights, beating time at the airport bar, and after a few quick beers, you start talking with no bullshit. We all know that a few beers loses the tongues, and we better not call our ex-wives. Long story short, they started discussing why a lot of amazing improvements are not going viral in their worldwide organizations. Even they spent millions in their communication systems and platforms. And believe me, some of their improvements are nothing but staggering. They're game-changing, spectacular. These guys and gals know their shit for real. Understanding that this big organization was kind of like melt together by formal rivaling and competing companies from countries which don't even like each other that much at all. This is the biggest problem they had, because some of their improvements wasn't implemented because they came from them. So they didn't came up with that idea, and that's why they refused to do it. What the fuck? Aren't we all here to make a customer happy? So looking closer to what I found at that high level of lean management, I asked several other companies smaller companies, if they explore the same syndrome of improvement ignorance? I was shocked. The answer was all the time. So for me, it's simply clear. The 9th deadly waste of lean is ego. How could I not see this? Walking into the world-class lean paradise of Chuck Cesarelli's In the Ditch Towing, the quote in the biggest fonts and letters above all the million quotes he has on his wall is, make the other person look good. If that's not approval of my theory of waste number 9, ego, then I don't know better. Make the other person look good, or with other words, it doesn't matter who came up with the idea. Our customer is more important than our egos. And if I can boost the lean development in giving someone else the stage and the applause, here you go. I have another example for that. I'm here with one of my most amazing employees of all times. This is Jonas over there. Jonas is, wait. Jonas, he is brilliant. I don't know how his mind works. I mean, give him a task and he makes the most beautiful product out of it. And that product let me look good in front of my customers. You know, it makes my company, Yellotools, look good because he came up with that idea. So why don't we give him an applause? Come on. So, you see how easy it is to give someone who deserves it what it takes. It doesn't cost a penny. And do you feel good? Hell yes. So another conclusion I got from all of this was the right way of looking at the word error culture. We had it here today. I don't know how many times I used this term, thinking using it correctly, but I only thought of it as the knowledge about the fact that 99% of mistakes in an organization is caused by a wrong set process and that only 1% of it is caused by human beings. But it is really so much more. An unknown author once wrote, and I read this, only when we are allowed to develop and show ourselves as complete persons in our entire and yet charming imperfection, we can relax and find access to our full potential, our creativity, and to thoughts that can have what it takes to make a real difference. Wow. It always comes back to help people grow and be 2 seconds better than yesterday, but not just to make a customer happy or buy the boss a new sports car. No, way more important to enjoy our everyday work and have a happier life. So far so good. How do we get there? So my next chapter is the lean wave theory. You know, these things needs a name, that's why, you know. Lean sucks. My guys suck. I give up on that. I don't know if you have those feelings from time to time. I totally do. 16 years in a row now. You don't? Okay, you can skip that chapter and go to the bar. Come on, let's go. No, like I mentioned earlier, just last month I was totally desperate and doubted the whole lean thing completely. It was kind of like a mental breakdown caused by some insignificant people. But then always something amazing happens and you get that kick you needed so badly, up and down and repeat. But doesn't the Toyota guys tell us all the time we need flow in everything we do? Isn't flow the almighty formula for success? But I don't see that flow in my day-to-day life. I see flow on the shop floor in making a few hundred products for sure, but then it stops and starts all over again, stops and starts all over again. But in my overall lean development, I don't see the flow that crystal clear like I want to see it. Well, it's more like an up and down. It's a constant frequency, almost like waves. I had those thoughts on one of my trips to my branch in Los Angeles, in Orange County, California. I thought, why can't I have a constant grow in my lean activities? Why isn't there at least consistency? One day we were doing great. Everyone is on board. Improvements falling off the shelf. These days feels like heaven. Then you see the dishwasher totally fucked up. People taking it easy, doing their work. Defects happen and so on. Why is that? Why do I have to be the constant prayer? Shouldn't lean be a no-brainer? The perfect perpetuum mobile? I don't know if it was coincidence or serendipity. I thought about all this while on a pier, on a beautiful pier in Huntington Beach, watching the ocean and watching some people on surfboards. To distract myself from my stupid theories, I thought to myself, look at these idiots with their surfboards, sitting there for hours waiting for the wave with dozens of false attempts and tries. How stupid you have to be, kind of like enjoy that waste of time. I figured out later the only idiot on the pier was me. I decided to walk down to the parking lot where these guys change clothes to leave the beach. I asked them if they allow me some questions about their intention in surfing and why they enjoy it, even if these guys didn't catch the wave that day. I asked them if it's boring as hell, exhausting, and after all disappointing to spend all that time and efforts to look out for the one wave and don't catch a thing at all. The answer left me speechless. They said, I'm looking at it from the wrong perspective. It's all about the settings, the plannings, the lookouts, the calculations, and the chase. If it all comes together in riding that beast, it's beautiful. But everything before is thrilling and exciting. I ask, but if you're up there, that joy is just a fraction of a second. Is that really worth it? They said, no, the joy is not being up there. The joy is the downhill feeling. The thrilling moments of the perfect balance, the wind you feel, and the perfect melting together with the elements. Wow, I always thought of that going down as something really bad. Being up there is what counts, being here, not going down. So having all these lean improvements in place, seeing products flying to customers, perfect flow, and high-speed manufacturing, that's what counts. But I was wrong. I have to look at my teammates as these surfers, sitting on their gamba boards, in the water, doing their day-to-day job to find that one improvement, which makes their life easier and giving our customers a better service. Then here comes the spark. They think about the realization. 3S, try different things. They jump on the wave, testing what they came up with. It works. Instant gratification right there. Then they surf the wave in enjoying the better speed they found in their improvement. For me, it feels like getting lazy since they don't look for the next one right away. But no, they're not lazy. They want to enjoy the fruits of their effort. They ride the wave, enjoy the new speed. You can't make your guys plant apple trees one after another and don't allow them to have an apple. Of course, as soon as that new speed got kind of like cruising speed, it feels like we're crashing in the water. But the truth is, I have to allow them the downhill moments. I have to allow them to enjoy what they came up with. The mastery in lean motivation, for me, is to find the right time to restart the catching hunting process, to motivate them for the next, maybe bigger wave. It's all about the well-balanced frequency to make the whole process into continuous growth. Okay, since I know this, I'm way more relaxed about the in-between times. And now the tours we give to other lean companies, or even better, if customers come to see us, it's always a great moment to say, hey, we got these people coming. Why don't we surf a little harder? It's amazing. Since I look at it from this side, we got more high-end improvements done than ever. So you can say a lean optimist is someone who figures that taking a step backward after taking a step forward is not a disaster. It's more like a cha-cha-cha. But of course, it's universal. It's not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. The frequency of the improvement waves is up to you as the leaders. You need to find sense of the right music you can play. Nothing is a no-brainer. So, flow. Is it pressure or is it relief? So with all this knowledge about my new collected wisdom, how can I use it to make a difference? Okay, being more patient about the frequency of improvement makes my world a little better, but how can I transfer the knowledge into my team? And why are all these Japanese experts still preach flow as the one thing? Okay, let's be brutal serious. If you take a minute and reflect about the single job task in your organization, or if you look at some of your guys' day-to-day work, would you like to do what they have to do every day? Would you be happy if you were them? If the answer is no, or like, oh no, for no money in the world, then it's time to change at least how they have to do it. Isn't life all about happiness? Old Winston Churchill used to say, if you're the smartest in the room, leave the room. That's why I'm A, here with you guys. Yeah, because you guys are all way smarter than me. And B, I go to people I know they are smarter than me. In this case, I talked to one of my neighbors. He's one of the smartest people I met in a few years. His name is Bruno Krause, and he's a worldwide top manager in the automotive world. Plus, he's a very, very great expert in single malls, which makes it even better to be with him in the room. So the other day I told him about my thoughts over flow and wave and so on. Like I said, Bruno is a very great leader and an awesome human being. He listened to what I said and he asked me if I ever heard about a guy named Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Very hard to pronounce, but very easy to understand. Like Mr. Drucker spent almost all his life doing researches about his philosophy of culture versus tragedy, Mr. Csikszentmihalyi was obsessed by understanding the real meaning of flow. Why is flow so important to the Japanese people, for instance? What is flow? Pretty unlikely for me. I bought and read a book of him and to find an easy answer for that simple question. So I can't tell you, I was nothing but speechless reading it. First, I looked him up on Amazon. I was confused about the subtitle of his books about flow. It says, Psychology of Happiness. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of these crappy tree hugger things of bullshit. But I was so wrong. Mr. Mihai spent his entire life joining the dots between happiness in a day-to-day life and condition he further on called flow. He was interviewing thousands of people all over the world in different social classes, education levels, races, or jobs. He came to the conclusion that all those people agreed that they feel a thing called happiness in a certain state of a process. Not lying at the beach or relaxing in front of Netflix makes them happy. It's more a state of a perfect mix between overload, anxiety, and underload, boredom. If an activity you're involved in has kind of like a desire to function on its own, you really dive into that process and you feel the deep satisfaction of control and power over the process. No matter how other people look at the process or the importance of that process. It's damn close what some people call trance. So one fundamental insight of Mr. Mihai was happiness never takes place in the future. It can be only found in the moment. Some people think if I lose weight and get a perfect muscle body, then I'm going to be happy. Or if I have a sports car one day, then I'm going to be happy. No, you're not. Happiness can only be found in the moment. Look at me, I'm scared to death talking to you guys, honestly. I read this over and over and I'm like super nervous, but once I found my golden thread, it's that thrilling moment, the message went through and you're like, whoa, you're thrilled, you're amazed. But isn't this, the runners among you guys, and I think Felipe will agree, there's a thing called the runner's high. Who knows what the runner's high is? Okay, whoever experienced it? Oh, me not. But then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So is that feeling of the perfect balance? But isn't this exactly what we wish our teammates every day? that they are able to find a little bit of happiness even if they wrap boxes in a shipping station, assemble parts in one-piece flow, invoicing customers, or at any other task in an organization. If we all be able to create that deeply dissatisfying state of working for everyone in our companies, we are going to win every fight. If we are able to explain and prove our people that lean working, 3S improvements are giving them nothing but joy and happiness rather than stress, we would be able to engage them even more for our lean goals, and we could create that lean culture of flow. If everyone in an organization understands that implementing lean is a big benefit for having a more joyful life and getting the customers a better experience, the sky is the limit. Maybe some of you think I'm losing it, but I don't care. I found my way, and this is what got me here today. I will go back to Germany tomorrow and try even harder to bring my people happiness at work in exchange for their passion in making my companies 2 seconds better every day. Pretty likely I'm going to add a block in my morning meeting routine, which I'm calling moments of flow, where people tell me that moment of flow they had. I can see that this new way of looking at lean helps this fucked up world getting better again. In my mind, lean is bigger than we all might think. Lean brings back that lost connections of human beings, welds back together, which is separated, brings back the joy and happiness we all miss so badly after COVID. It creates resilience in teams and simply makes this world a better place due to the fact of a culture of flow we all like to be in, consciously or unconsciously. So maybe lean is the real application platform for all these philosophies Mr. Drucker, Mr. Maslow, Mr. Csikszentmihalyi, and all the other experts came up with in the past. It's one tool to prove their science. The lean culture of flow can lead into a strategy with no limits. So I'm closing with one last quote I came across last year from a guy named Marcus Buckingham. He said, "Leaders are fascinated by the future. You are a leader if and only if you are restless for change, impatient for progress, and deeply dissatisfied with status quo. Because in your head you can see a better future. The friction between what is and what could be burns you, steers you up, propels you. This is leadership." We're all in here to learn to be more mental trainers and life coaches than improvement maniacs. That insight that lean is a culture to improve the lives of everyone involved supposed to be the real message today. All the theories and researchers of all these trailblazers and professors are all meeting at lean because of you. All their theories can come true and real. Let's do this together and make this world a better place. Thank you.